Hey, welcome to 2017. Looking back to 2016, whether it was an anime or the real world, there was a lot of shit to wade through. Politics, Kiznaver, Terraformers Revenge, Harambe, memes, election results. 2016 kind of sucked. Luckily, Studio Mappa came through by the year's end and delivered with one of the biggest surprises in anime with Yuri on Ice. It's a pretty seemingly straightforward ice skating anime. Looks A seemingly straightforward ice skating anime soon took the anime world by storm with its characters and its stories, and I just want to praise it, and I want to protect it from anything bad that 2017 may bring. So let's get started with a new anime streaming showcase. Yuri on Ice focuses mainly on Yuri Katsuki and his career as a figure skater. He's a disillusioned, saddened by defeat college student, traveling the world, spending time in Detroit going to college, coming back to Japan ready to hang up his skates for good. During a playful exhibition of another skater's routine, his friend records and then uploads the said routine to the internet, and Yuri is thrust right back into the skating world he was ready to quit. Additionally, this opens up a completely new world of emotions and feelings for Yuri when he meets his new coach, Viktor Nikiforov. Now, this all sounds pretty by the book, slice of life sports anime style, but the true charm of Yuri on Ice comes from when Yuri and Viktor are interacting with each other, as well as their relationship that starts building, along with the remaining cast of rivals, friends, and family that are all in Yuri on Ice. And the best thing about Yuri on Ice is our main protagonist is such an amiable and great character that you can connect with and that you can root for, and you really want him to succeed. Yuri is a beacon of the everyman. He has a lot under the surface that they can pull out throughout the series, but it's never all at once. But he also has his faults. He's not a particularly excellent skater. He just has a ton of stamina, and he's capable of forcing himself to get better and back into the rankings to appease himself as well as his new coach, Viktor. Whereas Viktor is sort of the opposite of Yuri. He's very outgoing. He's very outspoken. He's almost an enigma, sort of. He is willing to literally put his own career on the line to assist Yuri to get him back into the figure skating world, and he just wants him to succeed. But we never quite find out until later in the series why he's doing all of this, and it's actually a pretty great payoff. I don't want to spoil anything, but honestly, if you're watching this video or if you've even heard on Yuri on Ice, you probably know the sort of, I wouldn't say agenda, because that's kind of like a weird term to throw around, but there is a sort of hook that also comes with the rest of Yuri on Ice that will be something I think this series is known for and will have going for it for the next 10 years, as well as shaping the rest of the industry for years to come. If you didn't know by now, Yuri on Ice is a pretty gay show, and I'll use it in both terms of the definition here. It is a very happy, cheery show. It is very light on drama, though there is, of course, some. It is a slice of lifestyle show. It's also homosexually driven in that Yuri and Viktor's relationship is clearly one of a couple. Yuri and Viktor's relationship is something that is just so believably crafted and is so well developed over the course of the series that by the end, you're just happy for both of them, even if it may have not went the way you wanted. Whether you wanted them to end up one way or you wanted it to be a little bit more clear, anything like that. The believability and the building of their relationship was fantastic from beginning to end. And it's really cool in the sense of an anime where a lot of series will have writers create characters and they'll sort of seemingly give this tension that a lot of fans will pick up on, and they'll create like slash fiction and one true pairings and things like that, where, and I get where that's coming from. I understand there is a point of acceptance. There's a point of you want representation in a series. You want it in a medium, and I get that. But Yuri on Ice doesn't need that teasing. Yuri on Ice has it. There's no fantastical moments. There's no really exotic moments that make it seem like too good to be true. all the tropes are left at the door, and there's no major cliches and tired displays of typical, like, super flamboyant homosexuality or the self-loathing gay person. Nothing like that. It's simply Yuri on Ice displays love no matter the facet or anything, in a completely judgment-free portrayal. There's literally no underlying subplot from a family or a friend of bigotry or criticism, and it's such a refreshing idea. It's such a refreshing take on a gay story or a coming out story that I kept waiting for something to happen. I kept waiting for that to be a plot of one episode, that they would just have to overcome something. But it never happened, and it was so nice. It was so great to not see that the Japanese writers and creators felt, okay, it doesn't make any sense that that's still a plot that has to be developed. It has to show that people have to overcome this insane idea that they have to fit some sort of mold. And it's so great. It's so refreshing. And I cannot commend the creators enough on taking this route of just showing love, no strings attached, no unnecessary drama, no love triangles, nothing like that. It was simply, here's two people, they are in love with each other, and we're going to tell their story, and this is it. But I do, when Yuri on Ice was airing, especially when it started getting closer to the end, I remember seeing a lot of tweets and a lot of people on Reddit and things like that decrying it, saying that it was playing a depiction of being very safe in terms of its subtle presentation of a gay relationship. And I will say that criticism isn't unfounded, and I get where that's coming from. And I get that you want representation. You want a more clear-cut, these people are in love, these people are in kissing, and these people are in a relationship, and we want to show that. I get that. I get that you want representation. I get that you want vindication, and that you want to be heard, and you want love to be seen and heard no matter whom it is. I get that. I want that. I want to be in a world where I can be in the same room as a couple that's straight and are holding hands, and I want to be able to do that with my boyfriend, and I can't sometimes, and it sucks, because I want to be in a world where I can hold the hand of the person that I love and not worry of any sort of repercussions of someone saying something, or even worse, someone doing something to me or him. And I know it's maybe a little bit of a paranoia idea that most people, if I'm in a certain situation, it probably wouldn't be a big idea. But I don't like the idea of, in the back of my mind, I have to constantly worry that something I'm doing that's almost a muscle memory could potentially offend someone to that they're not comfortable with what they're seeing, which it is totally their problem. But I don't want to put myself, and I don't want to put him in a situation where we now have to defend ourselves because of something as simple as PDA. But back to the idea of it wasn't clear enough, my personal take is I prefer a very subtle representation. I don't necessarily need something completely spelled out. I don't need something A to B to D to C to D. I don't need all of that. I'm happy letting me fill in the blanks specifically. I don't necessarily like super vague ideas, and it's like left up to interpretation, because in that instance there is no right and there is no wrong, and in some cases there needs to be a very clear-cut answer as to why. But in this instance, and as far as personally gay relationships in TV or movies or anything like that, I'm happy with just a very subtle, one person says something to another that is clearly, okay, those guys are in a relationship, done. Or this lady says something to this lady, okay, those clearly they have feelings for one another, and that's it. Like, it doesn't need to be, for me, in your face. It doesn't need to be completely spelled out. It doesn't need to be very, like, billboards and marquees just lighting up everywhere saying, hey, these people are in a couple and they love each other and we're going to explore this, but we're also going to touch on taboo subjects. It shouldn't be a taboo subject anymore. It's my thing. I'm so happy that Yuri on Ice has explored this idea, and Mitsuru Kubo, the writer, was able to tell her story, and that it's been a hit. Yuri on Ice has been a huge hit. It was one of those crossover hits where people who ordinarily wouldn't even watch anime gave it a shot, picked it up, and loved it. It's doing incredibly well in the home media releases. It's just been a huge hit, and I can't be more excited. I am eagerly awaiting when it's finally available in America. I will buy it because it's a series that I enjoyed from start to finish, and it's a series that I want to support as well as actually just own and have on my shelf. I think Yuri on Ice is an important series for the future, for people who maybe are going to reach that age where they start questioning their feelings, start questioning what's going on inside their head, why they may have some certain feelings for someone of the same sex or the same gender, and they wanna understand. And I think Yuri on Ice can be the show that shows that there is an axiomatic understanding, and it could be a revelation for them. And I don't think that a fickle personal unpleasantness with how a love story unfolded is any reason to decry the series in the grand scheme of things. Again, you can be unhappy of how the animation was, and maybe there were too many characters sometimes in a certain scene or in a certain bit that it kind of bogged down. But I personally do not think that it should be criticized wholly on how it's handled its subject matter. I think it was a very progressive handling of the situation, and I don't believe that it did anything inherently wrong. But I do concede they could have made some things a little bit more clear just to help emphasize the overall impact of what this show was actually trying to do. But in the grand scheme of things, Yuri on Ice is an incredibly important show. For me, it's an incredibly important show. It's an incredibly important show for several others, a number of people out there. It's going to be a success. There's no doubt that home media sales have been excellent for it. There probably will be a second season, or my guess is there will be some sort of compilation movie that tells the entire first season again, and that'll lead up to a second season. We haven't seen the last of Yuri on Ice, and there is more to come. It's just a matter of when, not if. But I will go on record. I think Yuri on Ice is one of the most important shows of the last 10 years, and it will be one of the most important shows for the next 10 years. And I think there is something that it has touched on that will be groundbreaking and will be something that pushes anime forward and the industry forward, as well as media in general, of storytelling, of presentation, of representation, whatever. Whether it's 2 years or 5 years, 10 years before we see another story inside the Yuri on Ice universe, it will be something that sticks around. It'll be something that people talk about. And I'm, for one, am eagerly awaiting anything revolving new Yuri on Ice. You can find it streaming completely on Crunchyroll. Funimation also have dubbing and licensing rights in America, and they have, from what I've read, done a fantastic job with the dubbing. When I inevitably rewatch it, it will be the English dub to see how it holds up. But I've heard nothing but great things about it. You can watch it on their website as well. But if you're strictly subs, Crunchyroll handles it there. Funimation has the dubs. They just finished up the entire series recently with Funimation, so you can find everything online. I cannot personally recommend this series enough. I do think there is something there for everyone, specifically people who aren't familiar with anime in general and just want maybe a good love story or just a good easing in. I feel this is a very, very good story to introduce anime to people, but that's just one person's opinion, so huzzah. But yeah, Yuri on Ice, fucking fantastic. I loved it, and I look forward to more from Studio Mappa as well as 2017. I'm going to try and do more of these in the future. I just finished up a couple series that I'm going to start writing about, sort of develop a little bit of a rough draft, and then see where we go from there. But yeah, Yuri on Ice, 2 thumbs up. I'd give it a third if I had a third thumb, but I do not. So yeah, fantastic series. Check it out. Can't recommend it enough. Alright guys, bye.